language of the altar. Yes, sir.
So I want you to explain the language. Secondly, you said that in every home or household, it's supposed to have an altar. So how is the altar in the household will look like?
Okay. Thank you, Superintendent. Number one, the language of the altar is a very... Okay, let me start from number 2, which is much more explainable. The altar in the house is that place you people gather to pray. That's the altar. You connect it to the altar in the church. While you are praying, you connect it with your mouth. You connect it. I'm connecting this my altar. That place you used to pray. For example, you can have a corner in your house where you drop prayer requests. I have 2 tables in my room. If I want to study on business, I'll go to this table. It's for business. If I want to study spiritual things, another, and you dare not go to that second table. You see the other one, anybody can go there. But that spiritual one is a sacred place. Now, under it and close to it, I have written notes of prayers. I drop them. Those ones at the altar. So when I want to pray, because you have erected there as an altar, an angel has been assertioned and apportioned to stand in their place. So for every time you have, and then again, God can time with that number. If you have more than maybe 2 rooms in the house, God can time with that number, speak to you and say, face like this. So if you get into my house, there are some places you get to, you see seats. That seat is turned towards a direction. So there are things I want to pray for. I'll get into those places. You just sit down there, face that direction. You receive ventilation from God. So the altar is that place, that special place. It's not a place you like, a place. No, once you come to that place, you've come to pray. Most people use beside of their bed. Like this is your foam now. Your foam is like this or like this beside it. And you don't keep makeup and lipstick and soap in that place. It's a sacred place. Is that okay? For example, now this is my room. I can come here now and erect an altar. So if I want to pray, I will come here and pray. It's not as if I cannot pray any other place, but there is an energy here. A man built a house and called me to bless it. And I was just walking around the house. And I got to a place. And I said, this will be your prayer room. He said, how did I know? I said, the frequency and the energy here is different. He said, that's why he called his prayer room. So, there is an energy that it emits that helps you. Then the other one, the language of the altar, it has a voice. What is your problem in the language of the altar? Let me know how to answer it, because it's a very big topic. How does it speak?
That's the language. I mean is how the language at the altar.
Okay.
How it look like, how the language is, and everything concerning the language at the altar.
Okay. First of all, that altar you erected is connected to your heart. The operational room of that altar is your heart. God is going to speak to you what the altar is saying from your heart. The Bible said that the heart of the man, the spirit of the man is like a candlestick. So God will speak to you. For example, today is Thanksgiving, right? The language your altar is saying today is sacrifice. Because it has created an atmosphere. So a man that is, somebody might say, God, maybe on Tuesday I'll bring my sacrifice. It's no longer as strong as it was today. Because it was today that God demanded for it. I'm telling you the language of the altar now. It was today that God, so you won't tell God, God, 31st night, don't worry. I have a plan for you. When you bring it at the first night, he will accept it. But it will not be as strong as when he needed it. He said, bring it today. So every priest that is concerned with this church, every angel that is concerned with this church, every spirit that is concerned with this church, every of them today is ready to receive a burnt offering. If you bring your own another day, it might be one angel that is interested that day. You give it and they will say, okay, just take blessings. But anybody that gives anything today will receive 100-fold increase. Because today is the day we call the Lord of the harvest. So he has blessed you January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Then he said, December, I am coming to receive a sacrifice from you. If you drop the seed today, you are getting 100-fold increase. Any other day, I can't quantify the percentage to be between you and God. So the altar has a language. The language of the altar is prayer. It's prayer. You are pouring prayer. Another language of the altar, you might wake up in the morning and you woke up with a song. Like this morning I was singing a song in the realms of the spirit and I woke up with a song. I just quickly wrote it down. And I will sing the song today because it's the song I woke up with. So it's the song my altar is calling for. So the altar is an interconnection between the physical altar where the spiritual terrain dwells and your heart. So it's a connection, it's a spiritual connection. You are connected to your altar. So the language of the altar, it could be prayer, it could be worship, it could be thanksgiving. Like God can say to you, today I need you to give me a sacrifice. Maybe you planned originally that this morning now I'm going to use it and start market next day. That was a young man. We went for a program. It was in Lagos. And it was Damsey Daniels that was preaching. And he said, there is a young man here. The only money you have left in your account, home and abroad, is $1 million. That was 2006 thereabout. He said, the Lord is asking you to bring that money. He said, that's the only money. And the guy wanted to use that money to travel. Everywhere was quiet. Nobody came out. The man of God still stayed there. There is one guy. He's a young boy. You are here. You are fighting with your spirit. God is asking you to bring that 1 million. Nobody came out. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, around 20 minutes. What we just had is the Holy Ghost flinged that boy from the back. He was just walking like a drunkard, and came to the altar, and fell. The man of God started weeping and declaring a lot. The guy stood up, of course, gave the 1 million and left. 6 months later, every month, God gave him 24 million. He placed the man of God on salary of millions. Another one. God said, give me this money. He wanted to have business again. He said, give me this money. He struggled and struggled. He eventually brought it. The man of God didn't even pray. He collected it and dropped it and said, go. The guy was angry. Leaving the auditorium, things turned around. So the language of the altar could be sacrifice. It could be thanksgiving. It could be prayer. It could be worship. Meanwhile, whatever you give your altar is what your altar will attract. If you bring prayer, your altar will be so much high in the spirit and low financially. So it will not attract financial blessings to you. If you also do worship, my email, God will give you songs. You become a songwriter. But if you are a sacrificial person, boom, the door is closed.